WYFF News 4 presents For the Record.
And welcome to For the Record. I'm Nigel Robertson. WYFF News 4 is committed to bringing you important issues that are affecting our community. And that is what we plan to do each Sunday morning. February is Heart Month, and no, we're not talking about Valentine's Day, but about heart health and learning life-saving skills. We'll speak with three people working hard to educate our community. Joining me first this morning is Joshua Trout, CEO of Encompass Health, and Maddie Lee, Communications Director of the Upstate American Heart Association. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Why is this issue so important?
Yeah, so listen, it's something that has been detrimental to many people, many Americans. So statistics show that 350,000 people in 2023 had outside of the hospital cardiac arrest. What's sad about that is only about 40% of those people actually had somebody come and start CPR on them before emergency workers arrived on scene. So that's pretty scary when you think about such a large number and not a lot of people knowing CPR or feeling comfortable to do CPR. With that being said, if we act on that as quickly as possible, you can actually double or triple someone's survival rate. So it's very important for the outcome of that patient.
Yeah, and as communication director, getting that message out there is so important as well.
Yes, absolutely. And with it being American Heart Month, it is really an important time to tap into having access to all of the resources to be able to share that message. It automatically brings immediate awareness about cardiac disease, but also, what can we do from not just within this month, but for the months ahead, for the years ahead, and forever, and hopefully to make some transformational change.
Yeah, I remember when I was in school, we had to learn how to do CPR.
Yeah.
And it's changed a little bit. Is it an easy thing to learn?
It is. That's a great question. It is. Over the time of American Heart Association's existence, they have had different types of CPR processes. And it's actually, as time has gone on, it's become a lot easier. So one of the things that they are now focusing on is hands-only CPR. A lot of the times people are afraid to do CPR on somebody because they don't want to do mouth-to-mouth.
Right.
I respect that. What we do now, though, is if we go and just do aggressive hands-on CPR, you're going to give that person a good chance of survival. Getting that oxygenated rich blood through the body is what's most important. And you're buying time until EMS can arrive and start more of the detailed clinical process.
Yeah, and then, it's one of those things that you could learn it, but when you don't practice it, and then if, God forbid, the need arises, there's that fear too, because it's a life we're talking about.
It is, and if I can hit on that real quick, I think fear is the biggest thing that a lot of people struggle with. If you look at it a different way, if you have to do CPR on somebody, that means their heart is stopped. If you don't do anything, they're unfortunately going to expire. So while I understand the fear of that, you can't hurt them any more than they already are, right? So doing something's better than nothing.
Yeah. When you're getting that message out to people, do you see that nervousness?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. And unfortunately, after COVID, as many things were impacted, so were the rates regarding cardiovascular disease and cardiovascular health. And that's when a huge push has been really emphasizing the two steps you need. One, call 911, but two, use your hands. We obviously had some transitions back into everyday life, but that doesn't mean that cardiovascular disease stopped, and that doesn't mean the impact and the importance of hands-only CPR stopped. So that's why there's also been a huge push on the hands-only component of it.
Yeah. Now, you grow up hearing about heart health. It's something everyone talks about. And because of that, so many people may not pay attention like they should. Heart disease is
the #1 killer.
Yeah.
More than all cancers combined. Heart disease is the leading cause of death.
So the chances of you possibly needing to help save someone are high.
It's pretty high.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Walk me through any stories that you know or that can bring that impact home.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I think about is that we have approximately, I think, 23,000 children that unfortunately had outside of the hospital cardiac arrest.
Children.
And what's, adults are one thing, but when you talk about children, it's so important that you act immediately, right? So we have seen kids that have had a sudden cardiac arrest scenario on a baseball field that was struck in the chest. When they collapse, it's so important to start CPR immediately because they're normally in some type of arrhythmia. And the only way of saving them is either A, by doing chest compressions immediately, and then coupling that with defibrillation. That's what's really going to save that life. So we have seen an increase, especially in sports, of people having AEDs at the field, at the court, and being able to save lives.
And we've done a couple stories on it here at WYFF4. I mean, these are young men and women who are young and
Healthy.
Strong,
Yes.
and you would have never known, but then something happens.
Absolutely, and that's why the American Heart Association itself, our mission is to be a relentless force towards a world of longer and healthier lives. Of course, we lead with the heart and the cardiac components of all things, but our everyday lives are affected by that. Our total well-being, our mental health, our physical health, the access that we have to nutritious food or food at all. Food insecurity is huge right here in the upstate. The access we have to blood pressure devices and monitoring. I mean, all of those things fall under this mission of being able to hopefully one day find a cure for heart disease, but also just ensuring that we all here in our own community, our neighbors, our families are living longer and healthier lives.
Yeah, and we're just scratching the surface here. We have so much to talk about. Stay with us. Still to come, a doctor joins us offering her perspective on women's health this Heart Month.